Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask, Heidi. Today is Wednesday. It is March the 2nd. Today is National Banana Cream Pie Day.
I love homemade banana cream pie.
Heidi does a good
so
job.
much. I do.
Who gave you that recipe? Where'd you learn that?
My mama.
Yeah, she done good.
Oh,
National
so
Old
good.
Stuff Day today, so a day to celebrate old stuff. National National Read Across America Day. Wow. Also Dr. Seuss Day. And World Teen Mental Wellness Day. And it's Ash Wednesday. All of those things happening on this Wednesday. And it's too bad it's not a Tuesday, because I've got Guy Torry joining us. Going to talk about a new docu-series that just recently came out. It's called Fat Tuesdays. P-H-A-T.
I see what he did there.
Yeah, I'm going to chat with him. Very funny dude. It's coming your way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Minnesota is on the top of the list. Recent data compiled by 24/7 Wall Street, whatever that is, they identified America's most sleep-deprived states. The states that get the most sleep, Minnesota gets the most sleep.
Really?
Colorado comes in second, and my home state of South Dakota comes in third.
Woo,
That's
woo.
the states that get the most sleep. Now, who do you think gets the least amount of sleep? The worst offenders?
New York?
Hawaii gets the least amount of sleep.
I can verify that.
Yeah. When we were in
We
Hawaii,
were just there. We didn't sleep at all.
we didn't get a lot of sleep. And West Virginia comes in right behind Hawaii, then Kentucky,
Really?
then Tennessee, then Ohio. So
Okay.
I've got that study if you want to read it. It's in the show notes. More than 4 out of 10 American millionaires say they do not feel rich. That's millionaires. They do not feel rich. And a study shows a huge number of us are using at least one gadget while watching TV. 86% of TV
Yep.
watchers are on a smartphone, a tablet, or a laptop at the same time.
Yep.
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know people who are born in the fall will live a few months longer than the rest of us?
Really?
Heidi was born in the fall. A study.
No, I was. I was born in August. It's summer.
Fall? Is that summer?
August is summer.
Ah, that's fall to me.
It is hot summer.
A study, well, okay, I suppose. Heidi was almost born in the fall. A study looked at more than 1 million people over the age of 55. This was in Austria, Denmark, and Australia. They found people born from October to December. Oh, hey, that's me. I was born in November. Tended to outlive people born in the spring by 3 to 6 months. The same held true for people born in Australia when researchers factored in the seasons for the southern hemisphere. Scientists credit an abundance of food in the traditional fall harvest months for giving babies born then a nutritional head start.
Interesting.
So that is what it's from, because they're like, when you're a baby, you get a good head start by having all that, food with abundant nutrients.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. I think I had Gerber. I'm not sure. Did you know? Now you do. Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Warner Brothers is activating the power of the Wonder Twins. They're a pair of alien siblings named Zan and Janya. They were introduced to a generation of TV viewers on Hanna-Barbera's The All-New Super Friends Hour as young companions to adult
I remember
heroes
them.
like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Well, the duo then appeared in the Super Friends comic and over time became incorporated into the larger DC universe. Well, now Warner Brothers has hired Adam, I don't know how you say his last name, Stizkel, I apologize.
Okay.
Who worked on the upcoming Black Adam to write and direct an original live-action feature for HBO Max based on the characters. The twins were known for their catchphrase, Wonder Twin Power Activate.
I remember
that?
them. I do.
Did you want to be a Wonder Twin?
No.
I don't know anything about any of this. I apparently
You don't
slept
remember
through-
the Wonder
No,
Twins?
Not even a little bit. Don't remember it. Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. A report says Americans send almost 10 million tons of furniture to landfills every year. That's really sad.
Oh, yeah.
I like
sure.
taking furniture that can be refurbished and like given it a new life. And we've done that with some couple
have.
things. We have a thing in our dining room right now that's
We
actually
do.
the upper part of a desk.
It was the credenza of a
Yeah.
desk.
It was the thing that went above where they would keep
and
paper.
I turned it into a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really neat, taking stuff like that
Yeah.
and turning it into other stuff
Agreed.
like that. So, again, I'm really sad to hear 10 million tons of furniture to the landfill every year. I think we're going to use the rest of our time right now to talk about this. Emergency room reveals time-wasting cases. So it says affordable or free health care is a human right, but it doesn't give you the right to waste somebody's time in the emergency room, especially when there are real medical emergencies. Here are some real emergency room doctors who said this was some of the stuff that bothered them the most about people. So one was a woman who came from a nightclub with a broken fingernail. She wanted the doctors to glue it back on.
Wow.
They're like, ma'am, it's a broken fingernail. She's like, I know, you need to fix
That
it.
is inappropriate.
Yeah, that is a bad use of emergency room time. Next, somebody came in asking for a bed because they couldn't get a good night's sleep at home. So they went to the emergency room saying, I just need to get some sleep. Can I sleep here? No, get a
Nope.
hotel.
Yep.
Another one, a man who complained of a stomach ache told doctors he'd eaten an entire head of cabbage. And they're like, well, that's why you probably have that stomach ache.
Yeah.
So, and he went to the emergency room to let them know, apparently. And finally, a man came in and complained of a sore foot. Doctors discovered a binding nail from his shoe was poking into his foot. So there was a nail that was sticking in his shoe. And he didn't look at that. He had to wait till they got to the hospital.
Wow.
And they said, well, you got a shoe in your foot. Or you got a nail in your shoe. There you go.
That's awful.
A nail in your shoe that's poking into your foot. That's the pain that you have.
Oh,
There you
man.
go. I don't know if copay took care of that or insurance. Who knows? Waste of time at the emergency room. I've got a link to all of that stuff. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. It is a comedy call with Guy Torry, very funny guy, and he's got a new thing. It's a docu-series out on Amazon Prime. It's called Fat Tuesdays. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Excited to chat with you. Tell me a little bit about this new docu-series, Fat Tuesdays, and let's talk about where this idea came from.
Concept came from, a young comedian in L.A. at the time who, was seeing some success, but seeing the lack of opportunity for others to have success, and wanted to create a night to showcase these other comedians. And the young comedian was myself, and, it was South Central Los Angeles. It was after the Rodney King riot, and the city was divided, and Hollywood was scared. The industry was scared to come to black neighborhoods to see black comedians. And I said, okay, let me take the hood to Hollywood, and let me showcase these black comedians at the one of the meccas of comedy, the Comedy Store on the Sunset Strip.
And it sounds like a pretty darn cool thing from 95 to 2005. And a lot of folks came out to see this and maybe got to see some very talented young people that they hadn't maybe seen on stage before that.
Yeah, you know what? And it would have lasted longer. I ended it in 05 because I was just so busy at the time. But what I made sure I did was pass the torch to another producer to keep that same theme show at the Comedy Store. And at the time, there was really, to my knowledge, no mainstream club in the country doing a night dedicated to black comedians. And Fat Tuesdays kind of like set the tone for a successful one. There have been attempts, but they weren't really successful. And Fat Tuesday started a trend in L.A. of the Improv and the Laugh Factory starting Chocolate Sundays at the Improv, which was the urban night, and Freaky Mondays at the Improv. I mean, Laugh Factory was Chocolate Sundays, and Improv was Freaky Mondays. And then Improv, because it's a chain, they started doing those urban nights at their other clubs around the country. So it kind of like, it was a movement, basically. And more mainstream clubs started seeing the benefit of having an urban night because black people need to laugh the most, and black people support these urban nights and liquor sales. So they started profit in it, and they started creating these nights. But it all started with Fat Tuesday.
That's got to feel really good knowing that you started something that caught on all over the country. A lot of other places kind of followed in suit after doing what you did. And then to think about the comedians who got their start either on your stage or one of those stages and the ripple effect that had, that has to just feel amazing.
You know, it's crazy because I struggle with pride, right? And you know, we're put on this earth to help people and to serve. And I just looked at it as it was an assignment, a divine assignment for me to do this. I had no idea what I was doing, so I was being guided by a power bigger than me. And I was just fortunate enough to be chosen to help these comedians showcase their talent and the gift that they were given.
Again, it's called Fat Tuesdays. It's a docu-series that's out right now on Amazon Prime. And this is really neat. I'm looking at some of the names on here. Tiffany Haddish, Steve Harvey, Nick Cannon, bunch of other people that are involved in this project. Think about all the careers that you have impacted and all of these different people that are a part of this because they know it's a big deal.
What I'm happy about is that they came back to do this. You know, they paid it forward to me by coming back and being in this documentary we shot during COVID where it wasn't safe, although we took every safety precaution there was. And it's pro bono, you know, so they came back to do it because they felt like this story had to be told and this story was that important that they had to tell it. And a lot of these people who came through Fat Tuesdays and went on to be moguls and stars and icons are paying it for it too. You see Nick Cannon with his shows, giving other comedians an opportunity to showcase their skills. Kevin Hart, who came through Fat Tuesdays, and now he has a production company and putting other people on. And that's what it's all about. It's all about paying it forward and helping the next man, the next woman out.
Again, our guest today has been Guy Torry, and the program is called Fat Tuesdays. It is a docu-series available right now on Amazon Prime Video. I'll throw a link to make it really, really easy to find. Guy, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Once again, our guest today, Guy Torry. This has been a really fun comedy call today. And in addition to stand-up comedy, you can see this docu-series. They have it out right now on Amazon Prime Video. The docu-series is called Fat Tuesdays. And if you're searching for it, it's PHAT, Fat Tuesdays. You can see the trailer and get all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the 1850s, some Paris newspapers were printed on rubber so they could be read in the bathtub.
Really?
That's interesting.
That's hilarious.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Athens, Georgia is home to the only double-barreled cannon ever made.
Really?
That's pretty cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The founder of Match.com, Gary Kremen, lost his girlfriend to a man she met on Match.com.
Isn't that hilarious? I've heard that before. That's
really
hilarious.
Well, I don't know if it's hilarious. It's
pretty
sad.
hilarious.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Baskin Robbins once made ketchup-flavored ice cream.
Ew.
What would you put on that? Instead of chocolate, would you put
Ew.
mustard? And finally, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Since the brain does not have pain receptors, brain brain surgery is sometimes performed while the patient is awake because you don't feel anything that's
Really?
touching your brain, that you don't feel it at all. So they're like, okay, you don't need to be out for this. I kind of would want to still be out for that.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of freak out a
Several
little.
fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
Now, RadioTravelGroup.com presents a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Greece. A robber stepped into a bank in Greece, demanded some money. He was serious. He showed a gun. He had a bag in his other hand. And then he handed the gun instead of the bag to the teller.
We just talked about this the
I was
other day.
telling you
That's
when
hilarious.
I read this. I was laughing so hard because I'm trying to pre-read things, Heidi. I don't always
I
get
can
to it.
see that. That's
He
great.
realized the mistake and grabbed for the gun, but in a moment of confusion, the teller was able to slam the security panel closed, so she was able to, save the day. Empty-handed criminal forced to flee on bicycle that was also stolen from a bank employee. So, did not go well for that bank robber. Bank robbery is not for everybody. We'll put it that way.
No, it's not.
That is kind of funny. That is your news headline from somewhere in this world, brought to you by the all-new RadioTravelGroup.com.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A couple in India, they're planning the country's first ever metaverse marriage. So this is kind of an interesting thing. COVID has forced a lot of couples to downsize or even cancel their traditional large-scale wedding. Well, this couple, Dinesh and, Janga Honey, I probably said it wrong, and I am not trying to be rude. I don't know how to say that name. They found a venue that was unaffected by the current limit of 100 attendees.
Okay.
That venue is called the Metaverse, where guests can attend via phones, tablets, or laptops. We're not talking about a simple video feed. Metaverse is a term used to describe virtual 3D environments. Users will be able to gather and interact because the pair are self-professed Potterheads or fans of Harry Potter. The groom worked with a startup platform, Tardyverse, to create a castle digital space inspired by Hogwarts. The legal ceremony will take place physically in front of close friends and relatives. Afterwards, you're going to be able to log in and join the reception. It's going to cost them about $2,000 to design, develop, and host this one-hour event. They're going to be the first virtual wedding in India. So, do you think that sounds interesting?
Not even a little.
I thought it sounded weird. That's why it is today's Weird News, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. I have the saddest sounding places on Earth.
Oh.
I don't know if any of these places are really sad, but Instagram has all kinds of weird things, and there's an account on there called Sad Topographies. They compile the most depressing sounding places that they found on Google Maps.
Okay.
So if you have another one to add to the list, you don't need to send it to me, but you could send it to them if you really wanted to. Sad Topographies is the name of the account on Instagram. And here's what they found. Lake Torment in Nova Scotia.
That does sound miserable.
That does sound kind of sad. Mistake Island in Maine.
Okay.
Lonely Street. That's just off Lonesome Road in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Again, saddest sounding places on Earth. Disappointment Cove in New Zealand. Nasty Pond in Oregon.
Oh.
And finally, Failure Canyon in Utah. These are the saddest sounding places
Miserable.
on Earth, according to this particular Instagram account. That is the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Aloha! Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? GMDvacations.com is a family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Kauai, Hawaii. Your family will absolutely love the area, and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can have your own area at a vacation rental from GMDvacations.com? Visit Hawaii with us and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. On Facebook and Instagram, online at GMDvacations.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote is from one of the smartest people on the planet, I've been told. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Isn't he like a super genius?
I don't know, I suppose.
I'm pretty sure that's, I don't know like what the proper term is, but he's a smart dude. Here's his quote. I think it's just a fun quote. It says, does it disturb anyone else that the Los Angeles Angels baseball team translates directly to the Angels? The Angels, Los Angeles. So the team name is literally, instead of Los Angeles Angels, it's the Angels. Okay. I think that's actually kind of funny. And it took a smart person to figure that out. Wouldn't it just take anyone who knows Spanish?
Sure.
You'd think?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That is your quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. And here is the good news for today. An animal control officer saves 45 cats from a fire.
Whoa!
Yeah. Animal control officer in Texas recognized by his city for saving dozens of cats from a fire at an animal shelter. So this happened like a month ago. Jose Aranda arrived at the Laredo Animal Care Services at about 10 p.m. to process some animals when he noticed smoke coming from the roof of the cat shelter. He said, I proceeded to open the door and I saw a bunch of cats there, so I started releasing the cats before they got burned. By the time the crew arrived, he had already pulled 45 cats from inside the building. Due to smoke inhalation causing dizziness, he was transported to a hospital himself. He had to stay there for several hours before being released. He said, I love my job. I think that if I was another person, I probably wouldn't have gone in to save these animals. But he said, I could have easily waited outside until the fire department came. And God would have known what could have happened to those poor cats. Wow. So it's really, really neat that he did that. Again, his job is to, when strays are out running around, he catches them and takes them there. So he probably even brought some of these animals to that shelter.
Probably, yeah. And then he would have felt like it was taking them to their death if he didn't do something.
Boy, so it's really good that he did do something. And that not only put him in the news here, the good news, but it also, I think, it put him in a pretty good spot with all them cats. They're going to be pretty darn happy with it, don't you think?
I don't think they care either way, because
so?
Cats do not care
the cats
about
care.
anything.
Well, if they would have been burned up, that wouldn't have been good. So I bet those cats are pretty darn happy. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.